Just try to remember that wonderful place where Radha and Krishna are in the center of everyone's heart and life. And let's go there. Try to go there. That was nice, thank you. Now, Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapam Dantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Ganala Tam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahakana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitam Scha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantara Kantana Mostute Tata Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyayoscha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yeah. Yes. So I want to welcome everyone to this auspicious day. According to the what? Oh, yeah. If everyone wants to move forward, so maybe if other people come, they can go to the back. Yeah. In the Vaishnava calendar, January 14 is an auspicious day, Makar Sankranti, isn't it? Huh? Tomorrow?
It's because of the leap year.
Because of the leap today? Is it?
Some say today, some say
It will be in the night.
And this, okay. Anyway, it is anyway an auspicious day. And of course, when we come to the temple of Krishna and with the devotees, then things automatically become auspicious. As you have heard, today is my 60th year in this body, the day that I took birth. It's actually coming up 7:15 or so. It's my exact moment. Hare Krishna. And so it's a special day for me. It's a milestone that I've been allowed to live this long by the grace of the devotees in the Lord and my parents, of course, giving me my body. So what I would like to do today, sometimes when you just wake up in the morning, you get these flashes of insight, and then when you don't grab them, they're gone. So I got this insight this morning that I could title it, What I Know For Sure. There's these celebrities or something that they say, what I know for sure, blah, blah, blah. Then I thought, Krishna, it's a nice idea, but what do I know for sure? It's like, it's a responsibility, which I'm honored to take, to be with you and to address you. It is actually my heart's desire, not per se that I should be here and you should be there, but that this community is continuing to be and expanding to be a place where people come together and inspire each other, that we can celebrate actually being alive, but also the Creator who has given us our life. And that is, according to Vaishnava philosophy, of course, that is Lord Sri Krishna and his loving consort Srimati Radharani. They're at the pinnacle of all that lives. And we are so fortunate. For us Westerners, it is, in my case, for sure, to the great glory of Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, who took it upon himself to actually leave Vrindavan. I was just inviting us all to go there, but he apparently left Vrindavan. But actually, he took Vrindavan to the West. He brought it with him in his heart, and he expanded it for everyone to be a part of Krishna's loving assembly. because we are meant to act in harmony as human beings. We're already trying that very hard in so many ways, so many isms. People have manufactured socialism, communism, feminism, whatever ism. It is an ism. It means it's a man-made system. And according to what we learn from the Vedas, the people have 4 defects that we cannot overcome on our own level. Maybe we can together remember what these 4 defects are. We have 4 faults. What is that?
Tendency to cheat.
We have, no, very good. Immediately, the difficult one. We have the tendency to cheat. Yes. We are also committing mistakes. Everyone is committing mistakes. What else?
Sense is not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Egoism.
Sorry?
Egoism.
We are egoistic, yes. In the Vedas there are 4 ones.
Imperfect senses.
Imperfect senses, yes.
Propensity to illusion.
And we have the propensity to be in illusion. So with these 4 difficult to overcome limitations, it is almost impossible. It is impossible to create a perfect system to bring people together in harmony. It's not possible because we always have different opinions, and if someone is sincere, sometimes when they come on top, then they become proud, and they are bribed, and then they lose their sincerity, and they fall down, and people get disappointed. This is the major ingredient of the daily news. There's different versions of failing leadership. Not that we don't need leadership, we do, but by lack of proper leadership, because people are, as Prabhupada used to say, the blind are leading the blind. And together they fall into the ditch. Because, there's just no higher knowledge. So, to bring it back to my little life story, I was a struggling soul, like so many here, and I was screaming in frustration in my puberty. I remember walking through the corridors of my middelbare school, my high school, with sheer frustration about the stupidity of the things that I had to learn in these lessons, which I knew I was never going to use, I didn't care about. I just had to do it like a machine to spit out grades and then throw them away. I just felt I was wasting my time. And I remember one moment that I was prancing through the halls like, this is so ridiculous. I don't want to do this, And people said, yeah, but you're intelligent and you have to do this, and this is how you get ahead in life, and blah 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 blah. I was trying, and I also joined the feminists, because at least they were angry about things. They didn't just accept, the way things were like dished out to us. They were at least opposing and proposing a different version of happiness. So I guess I dovetailed my anger in feminism for a couple of years, until I saw that's not also the bringing lasting happiness. The Vedas teach us, Anandamaya Vyasat. We are all always looking for happiness. This is the inner search of every living creature. Even Prabhupada used to say, when you see an ant and you put your finger on top of it, like seemingly going to crush him, he will walk away. He will run away. He doesn't want to be killed. He wants to live. He wants to thrive. This is so deep. It's even in the insects. So how are we going to get this lasting happiness? Aren't we looking? Haven't we been looking for so many lifetimes, so many, websites, so many dating sites? It is endless. People are swiping their lives away, finding nothing lasting. And this is correct, because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that this material world where we are now, in our material bodies, it is dukkalayam and ashashvatam. What it means, dukkalayam? Painful, full of misery. Duk, sukh is happiness, duk is misery. And ashashvatam means temporary. Yeah. Yes. So it seems very harsh. Oh my God, how long I have to continue here? It's full of pain and it's temporary. It's like a recipe for depression. Unless there is higher knowledge, which of course Lord Krishna also gives in the Bhagavad Gita. But he's also honest to Arjuna. He says, look, this is where we are, where you are. Full of misery and temporary. But then he's encouraging Arjuna, because Arjuna is a Kshatriya, a fighter. He said, you fight, you do your dharma, do what you're good at, what you're made for, but you do it for me. Fight for me. Without considering happiness and distress, victory or defeat, loss or gain, do your duty. You are entitled to doing your duty, but you have no right to the fruits of your action. This I found very sour as well, actually. In my fruit mentality, I thought, okay, so if I want to please Krishna, I have to do a lot of things, but I don't, what do I get? You know, this was my, still there, but not as much as it used to be. And then recently, I got this nice insight from His Holiness Keshav, Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj, who called this as a lecture. You might want to hear this, look it up. It was the mental well-being. What is it? Pearls. Very nice, thanks. Pearls of mental well-being. He's very structured. I even remember his point because he's so structured. And he said that one of the obstacles against mental well-being is comparison. Comparison and what was it? Expectation. Expectation. And there was another one. What was that? Anyway, my point is that if we expect, even if, forget about Krishna consciousness for a minute, in the world, if we do something and we want something in return, isn't that like a recipe for disappointment? Because we calculate, I do this for you and I want you, actually, expect you to do this for me. And in business, yes, okay, this is the deal, this is the bill, you pay, bus, you know. But in life also, sometimes in relationships, we give, but we give to get. And this is, human society, it works like this. But it also frustrates us like anything, because often it doesn't work like this. If we give in order to get, there is a pain, you know. What is that, conditioned love? You know, have this quote? Expectation. What is that? The difference between conditional love and unconditional love is expectation. You give something, you want it back. Then I understood Krishna's recipe in a higher level, thanks to Maharaj, that we can do things because we are made to work and made to serve, but we have no right to the fruits. But it's also good that we don't have to expect something. So then it gives a kind of a freedom in the mind. You know, especially, it's not easy to be in a small body. People only understand you when you start to cry. And even then. Sweetheart. Yeah, motherhood. It's another story. Just between brackets, my son is in the audience today for the first time. There he is, Nitai Charan. Thank you so much for coming. It's very nice. I used to drag him to the temple until he didn't want it anymore. And this is about 25 years ago or so? No, 20 years ago. Then he said, Mama, I'm not going. You always stay too long. You always keep on talking, and I never go when I say I want to go, so I'm not coming anymore. Yeah, and he kept his word, so he didn't come anymore. But you're here today, and I so appreciate it. I thank you very much. Wonderful, thank you. Yeah, so how to get this Anandamaya? That is the question for everyone. Even if you're the biggest atheist on the globe, you still want to be happy. So I tried my luck because I didn't know what I was going to get by joining the Hare Krishna movement in 1984. It's a long time ago. I was 20. I wanted to find out about reincarnation, about, there was free food. That was good. Not only pizza, I was living by myself at the time and cooking pizza almost every day. I'm getting tired of it. And they had such nice, lovely prasad, lovely food. here, and nice people who always seem to be happy and clean, and everyone was a vegetarian. That was good. I was trying to be a vegetarian, but I wasn't always successful. Yeah, but here it was easy because they were cooking for me, so it was good. And also nobody was using drugs or smoking, so it was like a clean life. I was very happy to join that family, and I actually lived in Radhadesh. I joined in Radhadesh. And then, it was like heaven opened up, very nice, very free. But as Parivita Prabhu was saying, for those of you who were here before, in the earlier part of the day, I was celebrating the appearance of my CD, Asha Banda, my double album. And Parivita Prabhu was revealing, which is really true in my understanding also, that when you join Krishna consciousness, it is such a relief. It is so wonderful. And we really get the nectar and the mercy. But maybe then there's a theory that I heard by some devotees, when you join, because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita also, when you don't make it back home, back to God in one life, then you get a new opportunity in your next life. And you take up where you left off. So perhaps this first nectar time is when you kind of connect and you go to the point where you left off. I don't know if this is absolutely true, but I think there's some, it could be true. Anyhow, after some time, the struggle gets serious. It is not anymore so easy, it is not so blissful anymore, it is not so predictable that you will actually be able to make advancement. You have to work at it much harder. And so that happened also to me. My good fortune is that in the beginning I got good training. I got a good sadhana training. Why am I sharing all this? Not just to talk about my life, but I'm trying to share some things. Hi, Kamala. Nice to see you. And Ambika, happy birthday. She was, her birthday was 2 days ago. Yeah. So the thing is, if I take that hint from Krishna, what I know for sure, as a topic thing, then I would want to share some things that I've experienced and how I experienced them and what I learned from them. Even though the learning is still ongoing, as in all of our lives, we're still learning, hopefully. Otherwise, what are we doing here? We're just breathing and paying bills. We want to learn, isn't it? So what I understand is the importance of early training, good training and good association. That is what can make us strong, even if we do not live in the temple. Well, none of us here, most of us, don't live in any temple because currently, unfortunately, we don't have a temple where you can stay in Amsterdam. There are ardent desires, and not yet plans, but visions and prayers. Hare Krishna. Shri Shri Gauri Thai Ki Jai. April. So it's lunchtime or dinner time for them. There are great prayers that we should get this together in Amsterdam, or maybe a little bit outside Amsterdam. A community where, or a house, or different places where people can actually join, even stay for a weekend, or stay for a week, or actually live as a monk, so that we can solidify the association with devotees. Because that is the most important ingredient of our advancement in Krishna consciousness. Now, I don't want to embarrass you, Prabhu, but Madhava, he shows up every now and then, always dressed like he's straight from the ashram. You live in Alkmaar or something, right? Yeah. You live by yourself. Yeah. And he looks like he's always fresh out of the ashram. And he comes and he goes like a sadhu, with shining and blessing. I always feel blessed if I see you, and I'm always happy to see you again. I never really talked with you, but just to see him, I get faith in Krishna consciousness. Even though you live by yourself, I don't know how you do it, but you go to India, right? Yeah. How often in the year do you go? Or how long?
25 years.
25 years?
Coming and going.
See?
For 6 months in India.
That is a clue. That's on my list here. What works is going to the dham, going to the holy places and serving there. Where do you go? Where do you go in India?
Mijn home is in Pushkar en ik ook vrienden van.
Vrienden van.
Vrienden van is van mij gezien.
See? So that is another key ingredient. If you want to know, if you want to get something out of this lecture, which hopefully you want to, then this is a key point. And also Sita, you can attest to this. You also travel to India often, isn't it? Yeah, and staying long time. She's looking like a, how you call it, cultured lady. You are a cultured lady. You live in Amsterdam, I think. But you travel to the Indians, to the sadhus, and she spent lots of time with them. And like this, we are able, by good association, we're able to elevate our consciousness and our life. And this is something which I really have experienced. There was a time when I couldn't go to the dams because of my son. He was young and I was building a career and I was trying to, just support us by myself. And one time we went, and Nita, you got so sick there because he got an asthma attack on the way back in the plane, and it was very scary. And it was maybe the time when I prayed most sincerely in my whole life. When you were laying in the hospital and not breathing properly and the medicines were not working. And I was pacing up and down and calling. I was like, what? I was calling everyone, all the demigods. I called my friends. I said, please, please, he's dying, help him. For 2 hours I was praying like a crazy person. And then I realized, okay, this is too much. I can't just drag him there and I will have to, give up this idea of going regularly to India for now. But that now lasted 14 years that I didn't go. And at some point you were so big. Then you said, Ma, you can just go. I can take care of myself. It's okay. You can go now. And I was like, he said, yes, you go. Huh? And then I went. And this was 2016. And this was like a turning point in 2 ways. Because actually, to be honest, I'm sitting here, I have to be honest. I was still, feeling connected to Krishna consciousness. I still had my good friends, but I wasn't able by myself and with no japa practically. I wasn't chanting any rounds. I was always overwhelmed with the son, motherhood, the job, trying to find another love relationship, trying to keep that with persons who were not really devotees. It was like I was like being torn in so many places. I couldn't actually focus on my spiritual desire. It wasn't possible. I didn't have the strength. And but when I went to Vrindavan, and I went on the pilgrimages and I met the holy persons there and I reconnected with His Holiness Keshav Bharati Das Goswami, whom I had met before in 2002. And he didn't see me for 14 years. And I crawled, offering obeisances with my red hair, looking like a wild gypsy almost. So very red, huh? Like that bag, more or less. Really red hair. And wild and loose. And I crawled and he looked at me and he said, Rati Manjari, it's about time. In one shot, he recognized me. And he claimed me, I felt. He established that we had a connection, and he saw my heart, he saw my soul.
Who was that?
His Holiness Keshav Bharati Das Goswami, yes. So I said, yes, Maharaj, I'll write you, but I didn't do it. Because I thought, what am I doing? I just have a person with a job and no sadhana. I cannot, whatever I have to offer. But that was actually not maybe a mistake, but it wasn't necessary. At some point, I remember I was hoovering in the house, and then I was listening to classes, and there was this person, maybe you know this story, of this guru who came to a disciple or to it was a family man, somebody of you know it better probably. But the point is, the guru comes again and again to the home of a person. Yes, I will surrender, but first I have to get married. And then then he came again. Please come after 5 years, after 10 years. Then he came again. Yeah, but now my wife is expecting and I have to take care what she's going to do if I'm not there. And then please come again in 5 or 10 years. So he comes again, and all the time this man was just putting him off because he didn't want to surrender. He was too attached to his material situation. So at some point he actually dies, and then he became the dog. He reincarnated as a dog. And the dog was living around the house because he was still trying to protect his family. But the family was hitting the dog, who didn't care for the loyal service of the previous father of the family. And then he died, and then he took birth again as a cobra. And then the cobra was also killed. No, the sadhu killed the cobra and just put it over his shoulder and just walked off with knife, just to save his soul, you know. So I thought, my God, what a story. What am I doing? I'm just waiting. What am I waiting for? Time is passing. I'm a fool. I should write him now. So I turned off the stofzuiger, the elevator, and I just sat down and I started writing to Maharaj. I said, Maharaj, it's me again. I have nothing to offer, but I need your mercy. I need your association. And then he gave me shelter. And this was a turning point, because I felt his mercy. And and this is very essential. You may think by yourself, in yourself, yeah, that's her story, but mine is different. I have this. That is the mind. The mind is always fabricating cobwebs. Why we cannot surrender, or not yet, or almost, or little bit. It is all Maya. We need to surrender in order to get this Ananda Maya. In order to get lasting happiness. We can only get it in a full blossoming relationship with the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna. That's it. And it's never going to change. So it's up to us. Krishna is so kind. He says, if you can't do this, chapter 12, do that. If you can't do this, chapter 9. So nice. He's offering like a menu in the restaurant. Oh, can't you afford this? Maybe I have a nice little cheaper this, a little than that. He's so liberal. He's eternal. We are eternal. He's waiting almost eternity for us. He's still willing to wait. But how much are we going to block his love, which comes to us through the mercy of the Vaishnavas? And don't think that there's only Vaishnavas in orange. No, the Vaishnavas are everywhere. They're not everywhere, they should be everywhere, but we are all covered Vaishnavas, more or less, you know. So, and if we can appreciate the sincerity of even the most apparently simple devotee, beginner, like Prabhupada could appreciate the sincerity of the bum, you know, the stinking vagabond who staggered drunk into the temple, in the first temple, and the devotees were, oh my god, what are we going to do with him? And he just came and he gave it toilet paper, and he just put it on Prabhupada's table, here, it's for you. And Prabhupada said, oh, thank you very much, you know? So this is Prabhupada's expertise. He was not, he saw the service. And this is how he attracted all these sincere seekers, which maybe they were all drugged hippies at some point. But what they say, right? There is every sinner has a future, and every saint has a past, or the other way around. Nobody is like we are now. We're not going to remain, even if we want to. Sometimes, you know, when you go into the Ferris wheel, the Reuzenrad, it's very nice to go to the highest spot. But how long do you stay there? It keeps turning. And then the view becomes less interesting, and then you have to get out quickly because they want other people in there. So our so-called highs, our successes, materially speaking, they are there. For some of us may seem to have a very wonderful life in the eyes of others, but it's all not lasting. So what do we strive for? This is our lifetime. We have time. This is our life, but it's passing. In my life, 60 years have gone. I don't know how many I have left. And do you know? No. Nobody knows. Only Krishna knows. So this is the beginning of a new year. And they say, why not believe it? Because it's a good idea. that this is a good time to make new resolve, new resolutions, to go further, to go deeper, to aim higher for what we really want. We know what we really want. So many years I had this card, you know, sometimes in these new age shops they have these nice cards. What's that? When you do, this is from Rumi, when you do what your soul wants, there's a river of joy inside of you, something like this. So I had it as a reference point, and then I would look at it and think, do I feel a river of joy inside of me? No. So that means I'm not doing what my soul really wants. Then I had this little printout on my computer, so long that I never saw it anymore. When are you going to do with what your soul wants? Just very tiny. I didn't want to be too disturbed by it. But I wanted to step it up again, but I couldn't do it by myself. So, but when Maharaj started to encourage me and help me, and also even reply to my, childish WhatsApp messages, then I felt fire, I felt grace, I felt blessing. So it's not about him or me, it's about the principle of mercy. We need a mercy that flows down through the Guru Parampara, from the devotees. This mercy, this I got from Gita Govinda Mataji. You're still here or no? No. Anyway, I was once at a program of Mahatma Prabhu many years ago in my, you can say, loose years. I was there and I was arguing with him that I wanted Krishna to give me this and this and that, and he wasn't doing it, and I was upset with Krishna. And he said, maybe Krishna doesn't want you to have it. And I thought, oh yeah? I was like so frightened. I was so impatient and so silly. But then after that, Gita Govinda, she took me by the hand and she said, you know what you need? You need to grab the mercy. I thought, grab the mercy, what is that? Yes, the mercy is everywhere, but you need to grab it. I thought, I haven't heard that in so long. I thought, yeah, easy for you. You have a living guru. Very nice. So sour, so sad. But she was so right. And she planted a seed that, oh yes, actually I need mercy. It's not by our own good works. Even the Christians say that. Not by our good works do we get into heaven. No. It's the same in Bhakti Yoga. We need mercy. We need to seek the mercy. We need to pray for the mercy. We need to associate with those who are more advanced than we are. We need to make deep friendships. And we need to open our hearts. Kuyamakyati prichati. We have to share, as Vijay Prabhu was saying. I was apparently also in that program, sharing my struggles. It is not a disgrace to be open about what the things that we struggle with. It is a disgrace if we cheat others. We pretend that we are holy and we are actually, cheating. That is not good. But if we feel that we are with a friend, with someone who has our best interest in mind, doesn't have to be a guru, can be, but doesn't have to be, then we can try to say, Prabhu or Mataji or my dear, this and this, I'm struggling with this. Do you have some advice for me? This is the quality that Vaishnavas really, we should try to become each other's well-wishers. Like Prahlad Maharaj is praying in that beautiful shloka that Rajasundari is, he prays, he's a boy of 5, 7, and he's praying that all living entities may become each other's well-wishers, and engage in bhakti yoga and thus become peaceful. This is the way, not the ism and the that ism. It's not going to work. I tried several of them myself. I guess I needed it. I'm just trying to cut and paste my experience into your maybe open heart. Like, don't waste your time. The isms, it's not that. Maybe you have to work in it for your job, make your money from it, fine. But don't believe in it. Don't open your heart to it, because it's going to leave you empty-handed. I remember, I was in one, anyway, it doesn't work. I just save you the details. It doesn't work, it doesn't last, it is not perfect. But evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo vidu. The highest, the spiritual knowledge from the eternal world where Krishna lives right now. He's having fun with everyone there. And if we would be there now, we would join in that fun. There's another childhood fear of me that I would be left out. If you believe your childhood fears, that's another danger, because it may also postpone our spiritual advancement. I had this thing, you know, as a single child, my mother was not married, so I was like a bastard. So I was in the 60s, that was an unwanted progeny, you know, to be cast aside. Not so, you know, but you feel something that is not right about your life. I felt that. And so I guess I tried extra hard to be somebody, to do my best, to be of value, to be kind, to be, to be wanted. But it's in Krishna's eyes, we don't have to do all these things. We are wanted because we are His. I'm a part of Krishna, and I will always be loved by Krishna. And if I can realize that, then most of my problems, all of my problems are over. And I want to thank all of you here for believing in me. And basically a fallen soul who got some mercy and who is trying to make something with that mercy which will be pleasing to the Guru and the Vaishnavas and Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. And that is my also very important tip which I want to share, that the Harinam Sankirtan, the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, is the great purifier. It is purifying everyone and everything that is coming in touch with the holy name. And I can say that because I'm experiencing it myself. And I want you all to experience it and also teach me how to experience it even more. We are the Hare Krishna movement. This is the Hare Krishna mantra which is keeping all of us together. And when we engage in it, you know, when we have a nice kirtan, everyone gets happy. And when we take that kirtan out in the street and we touch others' hearts, even animals, kids, parents. Yesterday, the highlight of the whole Harinam in Emmelord, which we renamed Oh My Lord. It's like some God-forgotten, boring town in the north of Holland, where I don't know, but I didn't get the impression that we were there before. I don't think so, or it was very long ago. But we were there yesterday. How many people we had? 15, 18? How many? Yeah. How many of you were there yesterday with me? See, quite a few. Now, I can tell you, with every one of you that I do kirtan with, I have a special affection. It is not because of my great heart. It's because Krishna is, you know, coming and going into my ear from your mouth and from my mouth into your ear. There is such an ecstasy, even in our present fallen maybe state. We can feel there is something much bigger there. We don't have to get depressed. Oh, Dukkhalayam Shashvatam. Okay, let me. No, we are with our heads in the swamp. You know, why are we surprised that it's wet and stinking in our life? Because we are looking, our consciousness is into things, it's attached to things that are different from our nature. We cannot find any happiness there. It will never be there. We can use the material energy in the service of Krishna. And that we should do. That is our greatness. That is what Srila Prabhupada is so good at. You know, that's how he got everyone enlivened. But this whole propaganda of materialism and Maya, she's very good also at making us swiping up to stuff that is dead. We're not dead, we're eternal. How can we expect to be happy with trinkets of the material energy? Prularia. And also the cheap watered down version of love and coming together in a real lasting relationship. Can be a friendship, can be motherhood, can be parenthood, it doesn't matter. But this impatience that people have now, because the time is running out and we're like, oh, everything has to be so fast. But there's nothing there. We can go fast. This is what my first spiritual master said. The mental platform means going fast, nowhere. We think it is so wonderful if someone is very brilliant and he's got so many ideas and he's what is that, CEO, ABC, whatever, titles, you know. But it is, and then he dies and everything is gone. and he becomes the dog in the next to the family of the building, because he's so attached to it, and you should make the final sale. No, you become dog. Proper. So we should not be fooled by this current of Kali, and especially in Amsterdam. It is very powerful here. I mean, I am restless by nature as a Vata person, but here I feel like, unless I really sit down and chant, or even walk and chant, and take shelter, grab the mercy of the process of sadhana bhakti, I am a feather in the wind, and I cannot do much for anybody. So I really sincerely, humbly want to ask you, all of you, and I mean it sincerely, please go with us on Harinam. Please do it, because there is a transformative power there, which I was not able to find in 40 years almost of Krishna consciousness. It is there. There is something which can accelerate. We all want these shortcuts and these life hacks and all those words. It's the Harinam. If you go outside and you I call that, even George Harrison, he said, if I have to George Harrison, the Beatles man, who was a devotee also, he said, let's face it, when I have to stand up and be counted, I'd rather be with them. He pointed to the devotees. He said, I'll be with them. He was not afraid, even as the most famous person at the time, practically, to say, look, I'm a Hare Krishna, whether you like it or not. He didn't say that, but he stood for it, isn't it, Lochan?
Yes, he did.
He did. He gave the Bhaktivedanta Manor, the whole ashram, he gave, to the devotees. He put, maybe he was, not following strict sadhana, but he used his money, he used his talent for spreading Krishna consciousness. Krishna book, he paid for the first printing of Krishna book, about 20,000 pounds or something. So, we can all do things. We can do things that show Krishna in our hearts, who's like first row in our life, where we stand, who we want to belong to. And it can be small, it doesn't have to be grand, nobody has to know. But we should all be making steps forward, otherwise the pulling of the modes of nature and time is going to drag us down. Ultimately, even those who are atheistic, they don't want to bow any time for God, they will all go out of their house in a stretcher in the end. I've seen it. My neighbor, she died. Not that she was an atheist, but at the end we're all carried out. The body, we have to offer obeisances. Why not now? Why wait till that time? It doesn't make any sense. So, take shelter of the devotees. Whether you think they're more advanced or not so advanced, open your heart to the devotees. When you wonder about things, when you have doubts, that's all right. Prabhupada says, doubt is a function of the intelligence. It's fine to have doubts, but don't use them as an excuse not to go forward in your examination of Krishna consciousness or your practice. We all have full chance to go back home, back to Godhead. We don't have to struggle forward here. And that is my final point. Due to the association of younger devotees, like who came later than me, like Mantrini, where's she now? She just left.
She just left.
Anyway, Mantrini and Chitra Lekha. I spend so much time with Chitra Lekha now, and I see, I'm kind of reminded that how I dove into Krishna consciousness in the early years, how I tried everything, how I was trained, how we were preaching and distributing books, and the young ones, they remind me, hey, this is the essence. Preaching is the essence. And it's so enlivening, and I feel and I know that I have to be an example, even though I'm a big fool. Someone has to be, not me, but the older we get, we have to become the seniors. Even we feel like useless, we better, start becoming useful somehow, even in a small or big way. We have to step up, otherwise where is ISKCON going to be in a few years? If we all give up and we think, he's very nice, sadhu, I'm so fallen. No, sorry, I don't mean to ridiculous the Indian accent. Be very inclusive. But the point is the same, we should not use our inabilities as excuse to stay where we are. Because then we'll ultimately lament, maybe at the point of death, hopefully before. What did I do with all that time? You know, and especially if you are that for me, Nita, you were also very inspiring. When I became a mother, I knew I had to, you know, show him a good example. So for those of you who are born in India and you come here now, and you get children here, you bring your new wives here, very nice, we are very happy with you, honestly. But how are you going to give your children the culture of your heritage? For that, you need devotee association, as you know, right? Am I right or what? Yeah, that's why you're so serious, why you come here so often. And it's also very inspiring to see you in your seriousness of Krishna consciousness. It makes me feel, I used to call you what? You remember who said it? You know. You boys, what did I used to call you? Rita knows. Little India.
Little India.
Yes. Because when I saw that, right, Nathan? Yes. I felt like, the roots are here. The Indian boys, you know, it's so nice. So we need all of us. We need everyone here. And please feel welcome, even though we may not always be or have been such wonderful hosts. We are all like, you know, pretty busy people, but you are very welcome to be here, to make friends here, and to continue, you know, with your spiritual advance, with your spiritual life. Okay, I don't know if I made all my points. I don't think so. Yes. Yeah, by being with the devotees, the younger devotees, and kind of being a little bit less resistant to the glories of the mode of goodness, I was kind of, maybe that's the puber in my, how you call it, the high school kid, like, mode of goodness, regulation, so boring, it's like every day the same. I was like rebelling against it. But now I want to say that I'm starting to understand that it's possible, and it's kind of enlivening, that many of my problems, and I had a lot, may have come due to my excessive lingering in the modes of passion and ignorance. My head in the swamp. Yes, it is dirty and damp there. But there's a beautiful land which I'm not focusing on because I think it's boring. I'm just, you know, struggling in the swamp, you know, being I call that, you know, like on the rap, and it's like, oh yeah, you know, the more you struggle, the bigger hero you are, you know. But actually they're just, you know, trotting around in the swamp, where it's for animals, for fish. We need to be on the land. We have to elevate our consciousness by following sadhana bhakti and getting on the dry land and just, you know, chanting Hare Krishna, offering our food, reading Bhagavad Gita, coming to the temple, maybe doing deity worship, maybe going to India sometimes. Those are the things. Those are the road signs. Then life gets better. And it's actually such a relief. And I'm 60 already. So I just wanted to tell you, please, you know, don't reject the mode of goodness, because it is pretty good actually. So, I think that's it. Maybe somebody wants to respond or reflect or ask a question, even though it's a bit of a strange lecture. I hope that some points have come across. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah. Yeah, the Sabati Prabhu.
Yeah, I have a question, but a little intro also.
Okay.
I remember I joined 30 years ago, end of 94, almost 30 years ago. And your husband was the temple president, but actually you both were temple president. Your husband is the father of Nita. And I remember that time very well. Nanda opened the door, and from that moment I knew these guys are okay. This is. He was such an enthusiastic person, and both of you actually. Otherwise you would not have married.
I really liked his enthusiasm.
You were like a very emotional, enthusiastic couple, and you were inspiring everyone.
Sure.
And I will keep it short. I can say that my enthusiasm from those days has diminished in the course of time. But I still remember that phase, and I'm really thankful to both of you for giving me so much inspiration and taste for the process. You have always been there. You, I know you had your up and downs, but still, you know, you have always been
Kept coming.
inspiring, always been
Yeah.
going on,
Yeah.
giving lectures, making nice music, and that's really, you have been a real example for me. And,
Thank you.
that memory of those early days is still keep me coming home. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
That's
And I have
nice.
one question that
Okay.
I'm many times I'm amazed to see how enthusiastic you are, and how strong and dedicated. So my question is to you: what quality of Krishna is inspiring most to you?
Oh.
Is that can you answer that? Or
Yeah. I'll try.
maybe you can inspire others with that too.
Well, Prabhu is asking, he's saying that I have been there since many years and I've been inspiring together with my husband by enthusiasm and kirtan and keeping coming and everything. And he says that what quality, he's asking what quality of Krishna is inspiring you, so maybe others can learn from that. Well, I would say for Shishi Gornitai, Lord Chaitanya Nityananda, that quality is the mercy. The mercy. It's not that we deserve what we are getting. We do not. But they're giving it anyway, and they're giving it endlessly. That is very amazing. That is making me want to reciprocate. And the same with Srila Prabhupada. Whatever he has given, I don't even remember who I was before. I can't imagine, because his gifts in my life have been so substantial. So, yeah, I feel gratitude, I feel indebtedness to Srila Prabhupada and to Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. And as far as Krishna,